All right, here we go again. Brad Phillips here with Hagerty on the Redline Rebuild Sunbeam project. For those of you that have watched this whole thing, and I believe this is episode 9, I've had a lot of comments on this thing like, why doesn't David just fly in and do this thing over the weekend? Well, he can't because of this whole COVID thing and the social distancing, so I'm stuck here by myself, and I appreciate everyone's patience because I can only work on this a couple of days a week. But let me tell you what we got going on here. This episode, the subframe is going to be mated back to the body, and I've managed to adjust it in between these things down so there's just a little bit left to go. I figured since I can't really get underneath there and film very well anyway, I just cut a little bit of that out, and what you're going to see are these 4 bolts going in, and I'm going to show you as many details as I can about all that process. I'm also going to take a little footage this time of with my iPhone so you can see some close-up views of some things. I'm trying to get better at this, and I appreciate everybody hanging in there. So, without further ado, let's get this thing rolling on 4 wheels again, and then I can get to the top of this thing and not go underneath it again. All right, here we go. I got a flashlight, and I'm going to try and show you guys what it is that I'm doing. If you look at my light, you see that, and that, and that underneath. I'm getting really close, and you can see kind of a paint line there that'll show me I'm exactly lined up on that side when it lowers down, and then the same over here. This one is really, really close. So I'm gonna go underneath the car, and I am going to be putting these up in there. Now, if you watched one of the first few episodes, you got a sense of what it was like to remove it. And I've got it to where it's just about ready. You remember that whole big thing last time about me putting in that radiator? Yeah, I had to take it out again because this there, which is part of the steering rack, boy, was it dangerously close to the radiator, and I just couldn't have settled myself if I had gouged it in some way. So pulled the bolts out, got it out of the way again, and you can see how I have to make notes for myself that it's got no brakes, the coolant's drained. Don't start it. Oil pressure's open. Ooh, I can take that one off because I actually put the oil pressure thing back in. All right, let's see. Got 2 out of 3 in. So we've triangulated it. We've got 1 in the front and 1 in the back, and now we're going to do the other one on this side and then that. And this is exactly as much fun as I remembered it being. And Oliver is super helpful. All right, here we go. Yeah, like we talked about I think with the motor mounts, it's the same thing. If all these items aren't perfectly lined up spherically with each other, you'll just round out the bolt and gall it all up, and man, that's a problem. So I'm just hand tightening these there's still a little separation, about a 1/4 inch maybe. But this will get it up, and now I can just smoosh it all together with the jack and then make the final tighten. This is the front one on this side.
One, yeah. It almost looks like the thing has to move forward a bit.
Well, I can move back a little bit here.
Yeah.
Well,
I'll just put it, I think it might just be the...
I'd have to loosen the other one slightly.
I think it should be fine.
So which one? This one here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I think that'll be okay. All right.
Lights over. It's going up.
You got the pencil in there?
Yes.
That's a really smart trick. I'm going to have to show that to people. Actually, I can just tell everybody. What my son has done is he's put a number 2 pencil in the top of the hole, and as the bolt goes in from the bottom, it pushes the pencil upwards so he can tell that it's actually doing. Good job. This one's pretty close, so I wouldn't mind seeing if I could just make this go up with this on this side, because it is really close. So tell me what you think. I guess if I see this thing start to move upwards, which I do, I see it kind of rotating up a little bit. Now this has got a little slack in it, but as we tighten up the other one. All right, that one's not wanting to go up much more, so I'm gonna leave that alone, and I'll go to the other side here. because I don't think that, oh, okay, that's touching. All right, let's tighten these bad boys up. Oh my God, that's not even... Okay, what do we got next? Radiator's back in the way it was with the shroud, and actually I think I mounted it a little better than it was. So, always some progress and things you have to do again. So if this is all correct, I've got the wheels straight as it looks like to me, really even on both sides. The wheel I never moved. Okay, so if it's right, hopefully everybody can see this. Just put a little bit of that on there just to help it in. And I did clean and degrease all these bolts, so I think everything will be good. And I have, of course, my steering bolts and everything ready to go. So let's get this down in there. All right, how about a little underdash? Okay, so this is underneath the steering column. Got one bolt in, working on the other one here. I think, yeah, that's gonna happen about 40 more times. Okay, let's get that in there. Oh, I love this car. This thing was sold originally in Wyoming. Then it went to Colorado and then New Mexico where I bought it. And then brought it out to the East Coast, which is not generally the best direction to take a car, but hey, I'm having a lot of fun with it. Let's see. All right, we got the brake lines back on. So something else very satisfying is taking off my notes, telling me where to put things, because now it's done. A freshly painted generator bracket. Generator bracket. We're getting there. Now you can get an idea of why this oil dipstick has to come from the original motor, because the stock one would end up around up under here and it wouldn't work right. I think it would get in the way of hoses and all this stuff. So the Tiger dipstick is very specific. It comes up further so you can get it up above here. So just one more little fun Tiger thing. Okay, this is about as far as I can get tonight. We made really, really big progress. This car is sitting on 4 wheels. It rolls. The brake lines are connected. The generator bracket, painted no less, is on. I've got some various wiring things on there already, like voltage regulator. The other 2 plugs are in because I was able to put it in 4th and bounce it just a little bit to get it back to 12 degrees. That's the good initial timing so I can get that distributor stuck in there. And I put all the radiator and shroud and all that stuff back on once it was mounted. So it was as confusing as I thought it was going to be with trying to do it by myself. So I'm really glad I had some help from my son. Oliver is going to get some honorable mention with this entire project, which is great. And steering's connected. Next time, we're going to get the rest of this finished. Maybe. We're closer anyway. All right. See you later. Bye.